Welcome, welcome, welcome to the TCAD 10-Minute Take. It is I, your host, Sheree L. Stewart, and with me, as always, is my intrepid co-host, Don Legend Chambers. This is the 10-minute version of our normal TCAD podcast, where Don's the host and I'm the co-host, but we switch it up for this because we feel like it. And today, we are honoring a fan request. We had a listener viewer write in and ask us to review the movie Little.
Yes.
So, before we get into it, make sure you click subscribe and you click that bell so you get all the 10-minute takes as soon as they drop. And because I am bad at my job, I am
You can't fire yourself. So
I'm fired.
That is you want.
Okay. So we'll set the timer, and as always, we'll have Mr. Chambers start
First.
Bang.
Okay. We've got Little, Regina Hall, Issa Rae, and is it Marsai?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Just want to make sure I'm pronouncing her name right. Cute movie. I won't say is necessarily made for a 46-year-old man per se, but it's a movie takes on, like, say, Freaky Friday or 13 Again, where the grown-up becomes the kid, and it's very simple in what it's going to do. Obviously, it's because Regina Hall's character, who's a mean SOB, becomes a kid and then learns to get along with people and become nicer and all that sort of stuff. And Issa Rae's character develops a sort of like a self-confidence in what she does, and she goes to land whatever account and blah 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 blah. Overall, I have to be very honest. There were some times when I kind of drifted away because I just sort of knew what was happening, especially in the school parts. There were some funny parts there, but dealing with kids and they had to put on this whatever that presentation was. I was like, okay, I got it. It's going to work.
The talent show.
Talent show. It's going to be fine. They're going to knock it out the park.
It's not a spoiler. There's always a talent show.
Yeah, it's something, right? And then, Issa Rae's character, again, to land that one account, of course, she gets it. I mean, it's very paint by numbers, and I get it. I mean, to me, this is really a family film. This is something, you can bring the kids with you to have a good time because, I mean, if you're a fan of, like, Blackish, the Marsai Martin character, you enjoy. If you're a fan of Insecure, Issa Rae, and I was just a fan of comedy, Regina Hall, because she's huge. I love her to death, don't get me wrong. I don't think this is a bad film by any stretch of the imagination. But if you say, if you got some kids, you just want to take them out, have, some laughs, sure. If you're 46-year-old man by yourself, you can appreciate what the movie is. It's just not going to hold you the whole time. I just got to be honest.
Where would you put it on our scale?
I had some laughs, don't get me wrong, but overall I was like, it's okay. On our scale, this is definitely at the most a matinee, but I would say strictly wait for Netflix or Redbox. Really, it's one of those you play at home when you have time, so you can pause it, get some popcorn, go to the bathroom, come back, that sort of deal. If I did it a 1 to 10, probably a 6, because it's not terrible. I mean, what's going to happen. You can see it coming a mile away, and everybody in the cast is very enjoyable to watch. They're great. I mean, I'm just big fans of everybody there, so I want them to succeed. But I mean, this movie doesn't do anything new. It is no like, oh my God, I didn't expect that, sort of thing. So it's kind of average. It's okay. Maybe somebody might think that this is the funniest thing they've ever seen. I did not, but it's okay. Listen, I'm all down. Black people got the movies out there. They're doing different things. I'm all for it. Just plot wise, I mean, honestly, I saw it from the trailer and I said, okay, this is 13 Again, or what was the one with
13 going on 30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, or even the older ones that had what's his name?
Big.
Judge Reinhold, when he did that one movie, when he became he took over his son. His son was in his body, and he
That
was
was like a Freaky Friday remake, kind
right.
of.
I mean, this has been done for years and years and years and years.
Sure.
So it was just, I get it, and I'm like, cool. I think it was great. It's it was just like, okay, all right, look, that's the best I could do. It
That's
really,
fine. I mean, that's your 5.
it really was.
That's your 5. All right. So, for me, I will say that this was definitely the kind of movie that succeeds on the chemistry and the merits of the performers involved.
Right.
The script is very mediocre. The movie itself would be pretty run-of-the-mill mediocre, but the performances are so, like, the idiosyncrasies of the actors and like the little non-verbal like performances are so funny, and like their chemistry together works so well. And I'm really kind of bummed out that I would like to see a movie with Regina Hall and Marsai Martin together, like them playing the same character. Like I would love to see them in a movie together, like a buddy cop kind of movie, them two together, because they're like, I can imagine their chemistry would be amazing.
I think they'd be great in like a family comedy.
In a family comedy.
Yeah.
Like it was so funny because I don't know how, if this is, obviously it's got to be on the strength of the director and whatever work they do together, because for them to be both playing the same character, they had like a lot of the same mannerisms and the same way, like cadence and way of speaking. And it was like totally 100% believable that they're the same person. Even though they really don't look that much alike, just because of they worked on it. They must have worked on it together at the same time, like, or be present for the scenes that they weren't in, so they could kind of copy each other's mannerisms. But the chemistry of the movie was really, really strong. There were a few, cringe-worthy things where it was kind of floating into territory that made it weird, with like her kind of having a crush on the teacher, and then like just like inappropriate things where it just sort of flirted with that line. And I think there was a scene that was cut out because it might have showed, like, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if you remember, but there's a really awkward transition when they go to dinner at the restaurant.
Okay.
And she's trying to drink wine, and Issa is like, no, you can't have wine. You're like 12. And then it cuts to her dancing on the bar. And I don't know but it was like completely a weird, hard, awkward cut. And I don't know if it was a scene where they had maybe some underage drinking, and then in focus groups, like maybe she had a sip of it behind her back and she got drunk and that happened. And they cut that out because it was in like they felt like it didn't test well because that's inappropriate. Or maybe there was a scene, or should have been a scene, where that was her throwing a tantrum because she wasn't allowed to drink.
Right.
It was just a very abrupt, weird transition from that conversation to suddenly she's dancing on top of the bar. Like there was no reason for that. But that scene of them doing that song was so funny and worth it that you didn't really care how you got there. I mean, I care because movies are ruined for me, but it's just...
It was cute. I thought
it was cute enough. It was cute enough, and it was fun enough that it didn't really matter how you got there when how we got there wasn't explained. There were a few little like hitches like that in the movie. But otherwise, I feel like it was definitely super solid Redbox. Like if I rented this from we saw it at a matinee, and I wasn't mad about that. I definitely went with Raven. So it was like, kind of a girlfriend's. I could definitely see bringing like older kids to go see it, and they would have a good time. It's got a good lesson. There's some things that are a little inappropriate if you're mindful of your kids like that. Like if but they're not unrealistic. I mean, it's puberty. These are like, none of the adults were inappropriate. Like it wasn't like
right.
It wasn't. It was definitely no. It wasn't like over the line. It was just right up to the line and then step back. So it was definitely like right up to the line and then not over.
Mhm.
So, you know, in that sense, it was fine. But I mean, if your kids are a little younger, there's some things that I, you know, like younger than 8, I'd say.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
But older than that, it's fine. And I would definitely say it's probably good Redbox movie. If it's on Netflix and I'm cleaning the house, I wouldn't mind
Yes.
turning it on.
Yes. Yes.
Either in that kind of situation. But yeah, so overall it was a solid movie, but it was only really good because the performances were really good. And hey, it's for her first like feature like film, and she's an executive producer, and she's like 14 now.
Yeah,
Like
listen.
I say, like that's a perfectly acceptable step
All
forward
the
into
power
the
to that girl.
yeah. So hey,
Absolutely.
yeah. So like I would say that was a very perfectly acceptable, successful first foray into, you know, the realm of movies. And it wasn't like that thing, you know, the kids movies that we always see, you know, with like, you know, dogs and family. Like it was definitely in the 13 going on 30, big Freaky Friday, magic is real for a second to teach
Right.
somebody a valuable lesson. It falls right in line with all of those other movies if you have them on your shelf. But it was fun and, you know, refreshing, and it was a nice twist on it that, you know, rent it from the Redbox, man. It's probably out of theaters now anyway. So.
Seriously.
If you've already seen the Avengers and it's still in the movie theater, like I would definitely like go see it as a matinee. When it hits the dollar theaters, go see it, support. Definitely pop it out of the Redbox. It's worth it, especially if you have, you know, it's like family movie night. You can't decide on what to watch. It's totally fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good time.
Absolutely. And you know what else is a good time? It's a good time when people go to tcadnetwork.com. Go check out the website. That way you got links to more of our 10-minute takes. You get links to our podcast episodes. You get links to Good Morning Antioch, as well as reading. You get links to some of our written material, as well as our bios. And it just keeps you up to date as to what we have got going on. It's got links to our email, to our Facebook, to our Twitter accounts. Also, it's got our phone number there that you can leave a message and, you know, tell us whatever the hell you want. And again, listen, we had a listener leave a suggestion for a movie. Boom, we knocked that out. So we're letting you know we're listening to you. You give us some stuff, we'll bring it out to you. Okay, we'll let you know what we think of it. So
call us, leave us a message.
Yeah,
leave us a comment on the YouTube channel.
Exactly. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications for when we've got more videos coming up. So be sure to do that, and you know, stick around. We'll have more stuff coming up, and we'll see you next time. See ya.
Okay.